Welcome to Cooking with Hilda. One of the most beautiful things about spring are flowers. We all love to see and smell those gorgeous flowers. And today, to celebrate that spring is almost here, we're gonna make a beautiful spring cake, fluffy and spongy, that is gonna be infused with rose water and filled with tangy, delicious lemon curl and homemade raspberry jam. So let's make it! We're gonna start making a delicious homemade fluffy moist cake, and one of the keys to achieve that delicious texture, moist texture, is using all the time room temperature ingredients. So we start by fluffing those eggs perfectly, and we add sugar and butter, and we slowly add flour and milk. When adding the vanilla, try to use the best vanilla quality you can. Now, we divide the dough evenly in two different prepared pans and bake them at 350 for around 20 to 25 minutes until just light golden brown. Bring them out and let them come to room temperature. And now we're gonna start preparing this Italian meringue buttercream that is so fluffy, like marshmallowy. You're gonna love it. So let's start preparing this. And we start with room temperature egg whites. We start fluffing them with a little bit of sugar. And while they're fluffing, we're gonna start making a syrup, because these egg whites, we are gonna cook them with a very hot syrup. Please be careful when handling hot syrup because it can be very dangerous. So be extra careful. I recommend you to have a kitchen thermometer to be exact in the temperature of this syrup. If it is too hot, it's gonna be grainy and it's not gonna be good. And if it is not too hot, it's not gonna have that consistency and it's not gonna keep your flowers in the best shape. If you don't have, you can use this method of making this little bowl in water. So in a bowl of cold water, you're gonna drop a little bit of this syrup and form a little ball. If it is not sticky and you can easily form it, it's ready. Please, I remind you again, be very careful when handling hot syrup. Now it's time to start pouring very slowly the syrup in our stepped egg whites that are already in meringue. Your mixer bowl is gonna be very hot when you add the syrup, and that's totally normal. You have to keep mixing until it reaches back to room temperature. We have to use a room temperature because we're gonna add butter to this meringue. If we add the butter when the meringue is still hot, we're just gonna end up with a very buttery soup. And we don't want that. So bring the meringue back to room temperature and start adding slowly the butter. Slowly the butter. Remember, this is a buttercream, so slowly add the butter good butter quality, and keep mixing until you reach this super fluffy texture that you see here. Now we make a lemon curd, and for that we need lemon, sugar, and lemon zest, and egg yolks. And we start cooking them on the stove. Be careful to not overcook because you're gonna have scrambled eggs. We don't want that. Now it's gonna look like this one, and you have to let it set and come to room temperature, and it's gonna start to have a better texture while it cools down. Now it's time to make a delicious homemade raspberry jam, and for this you of course need raspberries and sugar and some pectin. It's very easy to make, and we just make our jam by combining the ingredients and let it cool until it comes to room temperature and start to set. Now it's time to start ensemble this beautiful cake, and for this we can level the cake, and you can moist again your cake with some syrup or wherever you like to have extra moist in your cake. Now we fill it using our homemade delicious raspberry jam and lemon curd. Now we crumb cut the cake and let it in the fridge for around 20 minutes until firm. Now you decorate it, making some flowers. This is a very easy and not complicated cake to decorate. You can make this every weekend if you want. Now it's time to enjoy it. It's gonna be a very delicious combination, this raspberry jam with the tanginess of the lemon curd, and it's gonna be beautiful to remind you of those beautiful, gorgeous flowers that we're soon gonna have here with us. Thank you guys for being one more time here with me, Cooking with Hilda. And if you like this video and found value in it, please give it a thumbs up. See you guys next time.